2024 five-star quarterback prospect Jadyn Davis has committed to the Michigan Wolverines. And to tell us what it all means, we're joined by our very own Austin Meek. Austin, you've written a couple pieces on The Athletic about the impact this commitment could have on the Michigan program. Let's start with the commitment itself. What can you tell us about why Davis chose Michigan over other elite schools like Alabama and Georgia?
So Jadyn Davis is a player who has been on the recruiting radar ever since he was in middle school. A guy who had offers from Alabama and some other big time programs as an eighth grader. He was the number one ranked player in his class early on in his high school career. So every coach in the country has known about Jadyn Davis. I think really over the last couple years, the relationship with Davis and Michigan developed. He developed a really close relationship with Jim Harbaugh. Really felt like the Michigan program was a good fit for him, and Michigan really made him a priority, even though CJ Carr, the grandson of former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr, is also in the 2024 class right down the road at Saline High School. But Michigan really felt like Jadyn Davis was the right fit at quarterback in this class, made him a priority, and ultimately was able to close the deal with his commitment.
Well, we know that playing in the big house isn't really for everybody, but why is Jadyn Davis the right quarterback to lead Michigan to future success?
I think for a lot of those reasons, the fact that he's been in the recruiting spotlight for so long is used to having his game scrutinized. When you're a prospect at that level, then every step of your development is watched so closely by fans, by recruiting analysts, all of that. That's not going to be a new thing for Jadyn Davis. So when he gets to Michigan, of course, he's going to be a very scrutinized player. That's the nature of being a quarterback at Michigan. You've got 110,000 fans in that stadium who are going to live and die with every throw. And that's a lot of pressure, and not every quarterback is cut out for that. But I think that for Jadyn Davis, as a player who's been in the spotlight really his entire high school career, I think that's going to be a pretty natural transition. And the makeup of Jadyn Davis, his competitiveness, those are things you hear about him that I think are going to translate really well for him at Michigan.
Now, zooming out a bit, Michigan has won back-to-back Big Ten titles, but sustaining that comes down to recruiting. And the Wolverines 2023 class finished outside the top 15, and it raised a few flags around Ann Arbor. Can a commitment like this not only change the perception around Jim Harbaugh's recruiting, but create real momentum for the 2024 class?
I think it definitely can, and I think you're seeing that right now with some of the other players who have committed to Michigan just in the last few weeks. This class has gone a long way toward answering a lot of those questions that came up after the 2023 class, which, as you mentioned, was not was not up to the standard of some recent classes that Michigan had signed, at least in terms of the rankings. Michigan didn't sign a top 100 player in 2023, even coming off of a couple really good seasons. So I think that the 24 class right now, which is ranked in the top five, it's number two the last time I checked, it has gone a long way toward answering those questions. And it's not just Jadyn Davis. Michigan picked up a commitment from Jordan Marshall, a running back out of the state of Ohio, top 100 player. So this has the makings to be a really good class and the type of class that could set the foundation for Michigan to continue this run after the current group of stars moves on.
Well, for more on Michigan, go check out and read Austin on The Athletic, as well as follow him on Twitter at by Austin Meek. Austin, thanks so much for your insight, and we'll be sure to check in soon.
All right. Thanks, Mike.